What's up everyone, it's your boy Scott. Welcome to the Scott Report, and on today's anime news, we'll talk about a release date for a highly anticipated anime film, how we may have to consume any releases in the future, and one of Shonen Jump's up and rising titles just may be in jeopardy. So let's get to it. A few days ago, we received an official release date for the Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba film Mugen Train, aka the Demon Train, aka the Feels Train, and it was finally announced during the Abema stream on August 2nd that the film will release in theaters in Japan on October 16th, barring there's no delays. But also with that, Aniplex and Funimation is also teaming up to get us an American release in 2021. And the same goes for us on that, because who really knows when we're going to see it because of the world events. I'm hoping they mean early 2021 for the release, now that it's confirmed, but it's just going to depend on how we are in the state of the world, as we can't even leave our houses and go to theaters right now. So with it dropping in Japan in October, and as big as Yaiba is, especially here stateside, I would estimate maybe a 3-month wait between it, just like how we've gotten with the last My Hero Academia film, or maybe even Dragon Ball Z Broly. So maybe January or February. And with the Demon Train arc, I like the decision to make this a movie, as I've expressed before. It's short enough to pull off in about an hour and a half, and still be very effective. I know people are always gonna want, these things to be panel to panel and page to page with the manga, but I don't think that's the case here. I think this can be a nice contained movie that, yeah, they're probably gonna skip some stuff, and really I don't think they can, because it's a very short arc. But again, I think the movie would be the best thing for it, because it gives us more time when we finally do get a season 2 to get to the longer arc, which will be after it. But there's also a downside to this with it being a film, because now we just have to wait longer for season 2. And I would say if we get anything about it this year, I mean, we probably won't, unless it's just going to come out of nowhere in the fall. And if they did that, that means that it was already in production. And trust me, as big as Demon Slayer is, we would have known if season 2 was coming well beforehand, unless they're saving that for the movie release. But another thing is, with this movie being 100% canon, I hope that that's also considered by streaming services, as hopefully this will be added to it soon. Maybe that will be a way that they can roll this out later. And this is something that I'll also get into in this video today, since you would absolutely need to watch this film before we get into season 2, because yeah, it's kind of where they left us off on season 1. This is a natural progression of the story. And once again, this movie isn't like filler or something that's just done for fun like most anime movies are, especially like with the bigger shonen titles. This is a canon arc, so this is going to be essential before we move on. So fingers crossed that we'll be able to see this film once it releases. Most importantly, we'll be able to see this film when it's safe to do so, or until it's safe to do so. Maybe there'll be other means that we'll be able to see it a little bit sooner. The way things are going now, perhaps they just plan to do a short run in the theaters and then make it available streaming somehow. I know, me personally, I'll be willing to pay a rental fee to see this movie, because yeah, I love Demon Slayer and it's very essential, which is going to lead us to our next topic. And that is the state of movie releases overall, because just like with Demon Slayer, I would be willing to pay a rental price for this if the price was decent. So that leads us to our next topic, with Disney announcing that it will make the long delayed release of Mulan available on September 4th on Disney+, which is very good. However, it will be at the cost of $30, which is very bad depending on what side of life you're on. I mean, first and foremost, Disney Plus is already a subscription service, so this on top of the monthly fee, I can understand why some people wouldn't be okay with this, but you also have to think about this from a family standpoint. Like, this is a steal for a family of 3, 4 or above, or a family that's stuck at home like a lot of us are, not even most, to where they can't get out. That's kind of a steal to be able to see this type of movie for the entire family. So it's a little bit of a double-edged sword when you're dealing with this, but it's also something that's kind of moving us forward to the state of movies and how they're going forward. Like, for example, how Disney just keeps humoring us by trying to say that New Mutants is coming out on August 28th, and it's kind of like, haha, yeah, right. Not only is that movie not coming out, we're definitely not gonna see it by August 28th. So things like that, I think they should just move to on-demand. Move it to Disney Plus. Charge us a nominal fee, not something crazy for it to see it. And then, the money will come. the thing that's bad about this is it does affect the movie theater business, which I know they're trying to keep intact because that's how they make their money. But it's just that we can't get out and it's not safe to do so. So even if you could go see these films, it's not exactly safe to go see it right now. So you kind of got to take the good with the bad on this one. There's only a handful of states that even have theaters open right now, and I know with the double pay thing, this is also how Amazon does things with their Prime service. Like even though you have, Prime Video, there's still movies and things that are locked behind the paywall. And I don't know, it's just like, I think if you're going to do this, you need to just have a little bit of a better price for it. And also, this might just be the future of films. I mean, if they plan to use this as a test run, something like Black Widow, the movie that we're all waiting for, just make it on demand. Yes, I understand it sucks that you guys can't put it in theaters. You can't make the billions of dollars that you plan on making it, but no one can leave right now. So at least let us enjoy this movie that you worked on that's been sitting out since May. At least we'll get to see it in some shape, form, or fashion. Overall, we have to keep the entertainment industry moving and special things kept in place because we're running out of things to do. People are going crazy. Dogs and cats are sleeping with each other, that type of thing. But $30, that's just a little bit steep, 14, 15, 20, yeah. Someone can pay that. I mean, think about that. That's like if you want to go see a movie solo, you're not going to pay $30 to see a solo. You're just going to pay, 15, 20, whatever you're going on a date. Again, it is a good value for families, but what about the people that just want to enjoy the movie? It might be a tough pill to swallow, but the fate of other things, especially like the rest of the Marvel movies, might actually depend on how well Mulan does. So I hope it goes well, but it probably isn't. And back to the anime front of things, the same thing is kind of happening with the Made in Abyss film, Dawn of the Deep Soul, set to actually go into theaters on August 14th. And this movie's canon, so it's the same situation with Demon Slayer, where when we do get season 2 of Made in Abyss, which is still coming, you're definitely going to have to see this movie because it's the next canon arc. But Sentai Films Works, people were on their Twitter page, myself included. Everybody was like, look, bro, we can't go to the theaters right now, so why are you pushing that we can go see it, where even if it is safe, some people might not want to risk it. They did reply though. They said, hang tight. We're actually planning to get this to more people. So hopefully that's streaming, and hopefully that doesn't mean they're just trying to get it to more theaters. But again, this is something else that I'll be willing to pay a smaller fee for. Definitely not $30, but I'll be willing to pay, this regular standard fee. Like, for example, remember when this whole pandemic thing first started and you got like Invisible Man and all those movies and, Bad Boys for Life coming out on video on demand? $20 isn't bad for a rental. $30 though, that's a little bit steep. So we'll just have to see. Again, I hope Sentai Films does the right thing. Again, since this will be a central movie with Made in Abyss that you have to see in order for season 2, hopefully they're just planning to get a little bit of theater money that they can get out of it and then go ahead and make it to a release that's going to be on streaming, because I think everybody will love that. Crunchyroll, for example, they released the Goblin Slayer film. Since it couldn't come out in theaters, they just put it on their service, and congratulations to them for getting like 3 million subscribers or something like that now, something crazy. And I know when you're doing that, you're going to lose money, which should open up the paywall, but we have to have something for the people sitting at home to keep our spirits up, so maybe Sentai Films Works is planning on doing the same thing with Made in Abyss. We'll just have to see. But yeah, that's the state of the Demon Slayer movie as well as Made in Abyss. One's coming to the theaters in Japan, one's coming to the theaters here, but we can't go see it. Fate Stay Night is also coming out. I think Fate Stay Night comes out that same weekend as Made in Abyss. So that would be interesting. That would have been pretty hype to be able to see those, but we just gotta find other ways. And our last bit of news today is about ActAge. One of Shonen Jump's biggest and most popular up-and-coming titles could be in jeopardy after 2 years, and the news is still developing, but it looks like the mangaka was arrested for doing some pretty bad things. So I'll really just leave it at that and not delve on it too much, because I don't want to bring everybody down with this. But what I do want to know is, how will Shonen Jump address this series? Will it get a rushed conclusion, or are they just going to pull it entirely? I know they've already started to pull some of the volumes that's coming up in the future, so it looks like they're just going to do a straight up halt. But that will be a little bit unfair, because this is a very dedicated fan base. Maybe they can find a way to keep it going, or at least give us a rushed conclusion. Who knows? Who knows how it's going to do it? But from what I read from ActAge, it was amazing. So part of me kind of feels that if they just did a rush conclusion, they could probably just wrap it up, but at the same time, If they pull it, it's completely understandable. News is still developing. We only know what we know right now, but I really do feel bad. My heart is broken, of course, for the series, but also for the incident that happened. This is very bad. Something needs to be done about it. And it's something that's been going on pretty recently in the years with a lot of these titles in the same type of situation happening. So, all right, so I'm going to go ahead and end it here. Good luck to ActAge. Hopefully, again, we'll be able to get this out cleanly, at least for the fan base. And we'll just see what happens there. So that was our news. For the week, or whenever it comes out. Maybe it'll be a few days later after all of this, and excuse that little bit of motion blur. There we go, we're back. I'm gonna go ahead and get it by here. So as always, if you guys like the video, go ahead and drop it a like, and if you want to hear more, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. There's not shortage of content for you to indulge on this channel, because I'm actually making content again, yay! But anyway, as I always say, you guys can be anywhere on YouTube right now, but you chose to listen to me. I really appreciate that, so thanks for stopping by. On that note, it's your boy Scott signing out. See you soon.